Hinge versus Bumble, which dating app should you actually use? So I'm going to break down both these apps, compare them head to head, and then tell you which one is best depending on what you're looking for. So real quick, just so you know, I actually know what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you some matches and conversations that I have on these dating apps so you know that not just some guy reading the documentation on Hinge and Bumble's website. So here are some matches I get on Hinge, some conversations so you know that girls actually want to go on dates with me, and then same thing for Bumble, matches, some conversations. Let's get to the Hinge versus Bumble sign up process. So for Hinge, there's more stuff you need to fill out. For example, you need 6 photos on Hinge, and you also need 3 prompts. Prompts are usually text that you put on your profile, so like the stuff that you see on the screen right now. You select one of these things. For example, I recently discovered that, and then you just write whatever. And then you got to do that 3 times. And by the way, these are just example prompts. I'm not saying you should use them. You can use text prompts like I just showed you. Photo prompts, which is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of typing something, you upload a photo. Video prompts, same thing. Use a video instead. Polls, exactly what it sounds like. A survey that you put on your profile. And then they also have voice prompts. So you select one of the prompts, like let's say you should leave a comment if, and then whatever you want to record with your voice. So yeah, I guess with prompts you can get rejected for your personality, not just your looks. Just kidding. But also on Hinge you need to fill out your heights for any short guys, short kings out there. Not saying you should do this. I'm not saying I would ever do this, but maybe BS the height a little bit, like to the point where it's believable. All right, so Bumble. So with Bumble, it's a lot easier to set up. You technically only need 1 photo, but it's probably better to have more than 1. According to Bumble themselves, 4 to 6 photos works best. And on Bumble, you don't have to add prompts, so yeah, it is simpler to set up. In terms of getting set up, Bumble is definitely easier. So let's go over how matching works on Hinge. So on Hinge, this is what it looks like when you're going through people's profiles. So it's kind of the same as all the other apps where you see your profile and you decide whether to swipe or not. But on Hinge, you like a specific photo or prompt. So for example, you see this little heart in the corner of this girl's photo. I would hit that if I wanted to like her. And then when you do hit that heart, you can add a comment with your like, but honestly, I think it's pretty pointless to do that. It's up to you though. You can also send a rose, which is like a super like, and that sends you to the top of their likes, but honestly, I think it's very overpriced for what it is. And if you are on HingeX, which is their most expensive paid plan, you can send a priority like, and I'll explain all that in a little bit. And then I also forgot to add that you can also use this thing. It's like AI conversation starters. So when you like someone's photo, if you don't know what to say, you can just use the AI. But honestly, I would double check like what the AI comes up with, because AI can be pretty bad. And then on Hinge, you can send 8 likes per day on the free version of the app. On Hinge, something that is unique to Hinge compared to Bumble is you can see who liked you even on the free version of the app, but only 1 like at a time. So for example, here on this screenshot, I got more than 50 likes, right? I would have to go through each of these likes 1 at a time, but I mean, it's still better than, let's say, Bumble, where you can't do that unless you pay. Like, you cannot see who liked you at all, and you got to actually swipe to like match with people. But with Hinge, this has the effect where girls especially, they swipe less, because girls in general, they have a ton of likes and matches. So what a lot of them do is they just go through their likes list 1 by 1. Like, this is what it looks like on the paid plan, the likes you page. But on the free plan, like minus the first like on your likes you page, all these would be blurred. Bumble, how matching works on Bumble, it's more similar to Tinder, where you just swipe left to right. And then Bumble, it doesn't say what the limit is for likes per day, but it's higher than 8 compared to Hinge. But like, I would not spam likes, because you know, it's just bad. Bumble is probably gonna think you're a bot and punish you in the algorithm. So on Bumble, you can also comment when you are liking like one of their photos. For example, it's this thing right here, the conversation bubble with a heart in it, and then this super swipe thing, the little star. It's kind of like roses on Hinge, or like a super like on Tinder. On Bumble, when you match with someone, usually it's the woman that has to message the guy within 24 hours. But if that doesn't happen, the match expires. So, instead of guys saying hi, girls can just say hi instead, right? Because that's what usually ends up happening. But if the person has, or if the woman has a opening move or moves on their profile, it's kind of like a prompt. The guy can message first. So, for example, on her profile, it might be your opening move and then who's your dream dinner party guest. And another one might be what's your ideal first date, and so on. So if the woman has that on her profile, you as the guy can message first. But if neither person messages within 24 hours, like I said, the match expires. But if you are on one of Bumble's paid plans, and I'll go over these features and whatnot later, but you can rematch. So if you match but miss your chance to message, you can rematch with a match that expired, or you can extend the match. For example, if the match hasn't messaged you and it looks like it's going to expire soon, you can extend it to give the match another 24 hours to message you. So in my opinion, when it comes to liking and matching, Hinge wins because you can see who likes you even on the free plan and the matches don't expire. All right, so let's talk about messaging on Hinge. So either person can message first. It's usually on the guy though. So messaging on Bumble, we went over, woman usually has to message first. And then Bumble also has this icebreaker thing if you really, really don't know what to say. So it's this little quotation mark thing in the bottom right that I circled. So when you click that, it gives you some questions to ask your match that you can send to them. So for example, this is one of them. And then if I hit send, or I can write a question, it sends the question to the match and then they have to answer, but you also have to answer for the other person's answer to be shown. But honestly, I feel like it's such a low effort thing to do. It's like not that hard to come up with something to say. In terms of messaging, in my opinion, Hinge wins. The 24-hour thing for Bumble isn't great because not everyone is checking the dating apps every single day. And then if you're a guy, probably are watching this video, women, they have endless matches, right? And if you're a guy in a big city with a good profile, you also have endless matches, but not as endless as women. But point being, when you have that many matches, they might not see you, or for example, if they were to actually go through all their matches, it would take them like hours, right? Every single day. And then, they might just after a while just stop checking the app because it's like too much. And if that happens, your match might just go unnoticed or something, or just any number of reasons, right? Where 24 hours may not be enough time for the other person to see that you match with them. So now let's go over the pricing for the paid plans on Hinge. For Hinge Plus and Hinge X, and by the way, prices for all these things, whether it's on Hinge or Bumble, I think it depends on your location and also maybe your age, but at least in America, Hinge Plus is $45 a month and then Hinge X is $55 a month. So yeah, it's pretty pricey. Unless you go for one of the longer term plans, then it's cheaper on a monthly basis. So with Hinge Plus and Hinge X, here's what you get. Normal Hinge, you just, match a message, and then Hinge Plus, you get unlimited likes, but don't spam because then it's going to be bad for you in the algorithm because you're going to seem like a bot. And then you can view all your likes at once, which is good if you get a lot of likes because you can just sort through them real quick. Advanced filtering, so you could filter for stuff like, you can also filter by height, whether the person drinks, smokes, etc. Just all this stuff on the screen right here. And then for Hinge X, you get all that plus enhanced recommendations. So it's another way of saying that Hinge will show you people that are more your type when you are swiping. And then skip the line, you're always a bit more visible to other users if you have Hinge X. Priority likes is kind of like Rose, but not as powerful. So your like goes closer to the top of their likes list. You can potentially be seen sooner. I mean, if you are going to pay for Hinge, you might as well just go for Hinge X if the difference is only $10 in your area as well. So now for Hinge Boost. So Boost, basically, it makes you a lot more visible in the Hinge algorithm for 1 hour or 24 hours. A boost, like a 1 hour boost, if you just buy one, at least in America, is $10, and then it gets cheaper if you buy more. Super boost is $30 for a 24-hour boost. But when it comes to like all of these paid features that I'm talking about right now, don't bother paying for any of them if you don't get any likes or matches, because all it does is multiply your results, and 0 times 0 is still 0 if you're not getting any likes or matches. what you should do is invest in your looks and photos, because then people will actually swipe back on you. Looks, obvious stuff like get a good hairstyle, hit the gym, have good skin, etc. So photos, these are the photos that I use, and I think they're pretty decent. I mean, you saw I get good results with them, and I actually made them using AI in a few minutes. So if you want to do that for yourself as well, check the link in the description that says get realistic AI dating photos. But whether you use AI or you just take pics yourself or you hire a photographer, having good photos is crucial. So now let's go over the prices for Bumble's paid options. There's Bumble Boost, which is not like a boost like with Hinge, but the least powerful of their paid monthly subscriptions. And then for a month of that, it's $40 per month, so not cheap. And then Bumble Premium, which is like the mid-tier, is $70 a month, which is pretty crazy. And then Premium Plus, which is like their best plan, is $100 per month. So it's very, very expensive, as you can see. Like, it is cheaper if you pay on a longer timeline, for example, 3 or 6 months, but it's still pretty expensive. The pay plans with Bumble Boost, you get unlimited likes, 5 super swipes a week, which is like a super like or a rose on Hinge, 1 spotlight a week, so that's like a Hinge boost. Extend matches, which I explained before. Rematches, same thing. Backtrack, so if you accidentally swipe left on someone, you can undo it. And then Premium, everything in boost, plus you can see who liked you. Advanced filters, incognito mode, so only people that you swipe on see you in the swipe deck. So travel mode, which, if you're like traveling, can be good. Set up some dates before you go. Premium Plus, it's everything in Premium plus photo insights. For example, let's say you have a bunch of photos and you don't know which photo is the best, which order to use them in. Photo Insights on Bumble will tell you which of your photos are most popular and in which order. So that's actually a useful feature. You'll know like which order to use your photos in. And then, for example, let's say you see that your least popular photo is whatever photo, you can swap it out for something else. Like, you can just keep testing stuff. And then fast track your likes. It's kind of like priority likes on Hinge. Stand out every day. It's kind of like the skip the line on Hinge. So you're always shown a little bit higher in people's feeds. And then you also get 2 compliments, which is you can send a comment with a like, 10 super swipes, so like 10 roses, and 2 spotlights or 2 boosts per week. And then Spotlight, which is like the Bumble version of boosting for an hour, or I think it might be 30 minutes. A Bumble Spotlight is, at least in America, $12 for 30 minutes, which is pretty expensive. And then obviously the more you buy, the cheaper it is. Super Swipe, one of them is $2.50, and then more you buy, the cheaper it is. So again, like I said before for Hinge, only pay for this stuff if you already get some results on the free plan. Otherwise, you're just going to waste your money. Who wins on pricing when it comes to Hinge versus Bumble? For sure, I would say Hinge. Bumble pricing is crazy. The only thing I think that Bumble has that is kind of useful with their paid plans is the photo insights I was talking about. So, for example, you could maybe subscribe to Bumble Premium Plus for a week just to get that, and then you'll know which order to use your pictures on, whether it's on Bumble, Hinge, or another app, because it's not going to be that much different across the different apps. All right, so Hinge versus Bumble for serious relationships. I would say Hinge. It's designed for this. It's marketed as this, or marketed for this. And generally speaking, at least in my experience, it might depend on your location and you yourself. The user base seems more relationship focused. Bumble, it's kind of in between. It's not as, I'd say, hookup oriented as Tinder or like other apps, but it's kind of like more in the middle versus Hinge, where I'd say, yeah, I mean, obviously people hook up there, but generally it seems more serious. Next up is Bumble versus Hinge. Which app works for more, or which app has more attractive users? This depends on your location. First, you gotta just check that Hinge is available in your country. To check that, just type Hinge available countries into Google, and then you'll see this page on Hinge's website. Generally speaking, Hinge is available in Western countries, like the US and Canada, places like that. Also some other places like Brazil, India, Singapore. So, just check the list. So after you check that Hinge is available in your country, you want to type into Google, for example, best dating app, and then your city name, Reddit. And then whatever they say is probably going to be the best dating app, because people on Reddit, they're usually not that good at dating, kind of weird. So if they say something is good, it's probably very good. And generally speaking, in America at least, Hinge is the best dating app, has the most attractive people, or at least women. I don't know about, for men, and not as much bots or spam as, let's say, Tinder. People are more serious about meeting up. But again, this could depend on your location, so I would just double check using what I said earlier. But for example, to give a counterexample, I was in Poland one time, and over there, they don't have Hinge. And so Tinder is used a lot there Tinder is used a lot there, and it's good. The women are attractive, whereas on Tinder in, let's say, New York City, it's kind of the opposite. So who wins, right? Bumble or Hinge? Again, I would do the check where, you check whether or not Hinge is available in your country. You check Reddit to see which dating app is preferred by people in the city. And then also just go over what I said in the video up until now. So, like I said, matching, I think Hinge is better. See who likes you for free. The matches don't expire. Messaging, Hinge. The Bumble matches expiring after 24 hours, I think is not good. Pricing, Hinge, Bumble price is crazy, like I showed you, except for photo insights, which I think is useful. Relationships, Hinge. I'd say overall, if you're watching this video, you're probably from America or another Western country like that, and generally speaking, in these countries, Hinge is better. Not just because of the feature stuff that I just mentioned, but also just in terms of who uses the app. Are the people attractive? Are they serious about meeting up and talking, or is it just bots and spam and OnlyFans stuff? But apps, they're all pretty similar. What matters more than the app, right, that you use is that you have a good profile. That is, your looks and photos are ideally above average. Switching from, let's say, Bumble to Hinge or whatever app to another one, it's not going to save you if you have a bad profile. It's the profile that gets matches, right, not what app you're using. Because at the end of the day, doesn't matter what app you use, the other person needs to find you attractive to like you back, talk to you, go on a date with you. So you can learn how to take photos yourself, which is hard, time consuming. You can pay a photographer, but good dating photographers, it costs thousands of dollars, which is crazy. Or you can use AI like me, like I showed you earlier. It's very easy, it's cheap, you can do it in minutes. And if you want to do that, again, check the link in the description that says get realistic AI dating photos. And if you like the vid, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share with someone you know, and I will see you next time.